All right, welcome to another video. I got some high-level controller play here for you. We have BillieDown playing as the Spanish and Old Peenuts playing as the Huns. They're playing on Land Nomad, which is a favorite in the map pool, favorite of mine for sure. They probably don't know this yet, but they are building their town centers right next to each other. Let me see. I'll toggle a little fog of war here. So this is what BillieDown sees, and this is what Old Peenut sees. They're both like 1650-ish, 1680, which puts them right around like the top 50. Okay, so both very solid players. I casted a game with BillieDown playing with Lagging Dog and I think it was just Lagging Dog, right? Now I'm confused. I don't remember. I just did it. This is how bad my brain is sometimes. I'm gonna take off the fog of war here. So I shall put it back on. Let's just see when they find each other. I'm always curious when these things happen. So they're playing on Land Nomad. Land Nomad, great map. You want to get the hunt for sure. You want to gather all your sheeps. You want to get everything. They're super close to each other. This reminds me of the game that I played the other day. And being super close to each other, you can get a lot of chaotic energy coming out there. You can get towers, you can get maybe fast castles, you can get early aggression. A lot of different things that can happen when this goes on. So it's just a matter of when they find themselves. Now, Old Peenut is playing as the Huns, which have this little Hunnic horse. The Hunnic horse, people pick Huns on Nomad maps specifically for the Hunnic horse. That's like their main thing. People pick the Spanish on Nomad maps because they want to go fast castle and make conquistadors. So both very strong, have their strengths for sure. In this situation, I like Old Peenut's situation a little bit better, just because getting to castle age when you're this close to your opponent is tricky. You have to either just go like naked fast castle, which is really tough because you can very easily get pushed early, or you have to push early and hope that you can do some damage and you can get to castle faster than your opponent. So this Hunnic horse is running around. I don't know if you can auto scout with the Hunnic horse, but I guess maybe you can. I don't know if you can hear it. My dog is in the background playing with their toy, and they have that moment where they have a lot of energy and they're very loud, and just doing the old smack it back and forth thing. So let's check out. Yeah, neither player has found the other yet. There's a chance they might have seen when the town centers were being built. I don't think so, though. I think that they have not seen each other yet. So let's see what happens here. Now, the Huns, we've seen a lot of the Huns, but basically they end up going cav archers a lot. They end up going scouts a lot. They're very good civ for that. And Spanish can do multiple things, but they are definitely known for fast castle conquistadors. They're builders. They work faster. They receive extra gold for each technology, so it gives them a little bit earlier uptimes. Blacksmith upgrades cost no gold. I gotta use Spanish more. They got some perks, man. And gunpowder units attack 18% faster. And of course, they can make conquistadors, which I think is their biggest perk. So they still haven't found each other yet. Billy has some villagers heading out here for hunt. This one's just going out to explore. They're going to find the town center, and the villager goes down. That's devastating. All right. So they know kind of where each other are now. Milo. Yelling at my dog. I'm not yelling. I would never yell. He's very cute. But I want him to be quiet while I'm recording this video. All right, so they should know where each other are. I don't know if Old Peenuts will know exactly where the base is yet. They probably can see this hunt kind of moving towards the base. But if not, they saw a villager right here, so they know that the base for Billy has to be somewhere over here. So if they don't know exactly yet, they're going to find out very soon. Billy does have the back gold here. They have the front gold. Old Peanuts has a little bit of side gold. They kind of both share this gold in the side there. There's gold on this side as well. Milo, tranquilo, buddy. And we have some sheep coming in. This is the nice thing about the Hunnic horse is you can really just scout so well. You can get all the herdables. Old Peanut sitting on 7 herdables here. Actually, not the best thing to take. You really want to take the hunt, which they were taking and then stopped for whatever reason. And the other thing about the Huns I didn't mention is they don't need houses. So you save a little bit of wood not building houses. When I've played the Huns, sometimes I want to build houses. Like you want to build, you know, like something to kind of, that's cheap that you can make a wall with. And houses are usually good for that. Kind of the way that BillieDown is doing it right here. We have a boar coming in for Billy. And we're at 20 vills and 19 vills. Both have a little bit of idle TC time, nothing crazy. Lumber camp going up for Old Peanuts. And this is a map that you can expand into other areas pretty easily. There's a lot of wood lines. You know, you can get like extra town centers up. You know, I was able to win my match because I was able to put out a lot of pressure on, but which is one way to do it, you know, especially when you're going up against a good player. These guys are in the same league, though. Like, this is not like an underdog-overdog situation. Like, these guys are both, you know, right around the same level. I'm sure they played each other on the ladder many times. They probably know each other. And Peanuts put up a little wall here. It's very smart. You don't want to, you don't want to worry about that. They have this gold here. Now, if they have to get pushed off of this gold, they do have gold in the back, nice and safe, which they know about. And they have a mill back there. I feel like mills on Nomad really are good, but you can definitely build too many of them. You can definitely build too many of them and just not, like, just run out of wood, you know? The Huns are better off because they don't build houses, so you're saving, 100 wood on houses, so you basically get an extra mill for free. And this villager for Billy is, I think, just exploring. I think they just want to get some like map vision. So this is what Billy has explored. Yeah, I think they were just kind of going out for some map vision, it looks like. Just to kind of see what's out there. And it looks like we have a tower coming up. So this is an interesting tower. It's kind of half defensive, half offensive, right? Because you can build this and it protects, any attacks coming this way. But also, let's see if they're going to move forward and build another one. So if they come forward and build another tower here. So that's going to starting to range the wood line. They could actually, like, if I were building this, I would have built it right on the edge here. Because they're taking this wood, right? But actually, let me look at their vision again real quick. Hold on. Oh, so they actually don't know exactly where Billy is. I usually build an outpost first if I don't know exactly. Like, if I'm kind of guessing, I'll build an outpost first. Because, I mean, honestly, both of these towers are kind of, not a waste, but, like, they're not doing as much damage as you'd like. And Billy is making a tower of his own. I assume Billy is a man, but Billy could be a girl's name too, so I'm gonna use they. And this tower might be a little too close. It's getting range. These villagers... Yep, delete it and back it up a little bit. There you go. It's a lot of towers. I've done this many times. It usually does not work very well. This villager is exploring everywhere. Look at that. They got some sheep here. They got some sheep here. And we have a spear trying to get in, but Billy's is pretty well walled up. Yeah, this is kind of, in my opinion, too many towers. know, let's see what happens. Let's see if it costs them. But you know, you're talking 125 stone for each one of those, and only 2 of them actually range anything of value. But they're committed though. Because basically you have, the drawback of this is you have 6 building towers, which is too many. You only need 4. And then you have 5 on stone, which is also too many. You only need 4. Like you can basically build continuous towers if you have 4 building and 4 on stone here. I know this because I've built a lot of towers in my day. Many towers I have built. And I'm doing a tower rush series. I think I've mentioned that on a couple of my vids. But once I have all the civs tower rushed, I'm gonna finish making one big long video of them all. I think I did the I'm on the S's now, like the Slavs, the Saracens already did. And these villagers are confused. Another tower here, so Billy has a nice, like, compact base, which usually is good, but with these towers here, they're going to get pushed off. And they do have fletching on the towers as well. Where do they put their blacksmiths over here? So this is actually pretty good for Old Peanuts here. It's a lot of investment. Sometimes a lot of investment is not good, but interesting place, lumber camp. But if put it this way, if BillieDowns like can't get out of their base and expand, they're going to be just like super squashed. Like, they don't even have room to build other buildings, you know? Like, I would even, if I was doing it this hard, like, even putting a tower over here could be kind of interesting, right? Because you know your opponent's there. You know your opponent can't get out right now. And they're Spanish, so Spanish is going to try to go fast castle, and there's, like, not even room to build a castle in their base. They do. Where did that other villager that was walking around go? Okay, so this villager's building is actually outside of their base, and Old Peanuts is not aware of that. So this villager could actually build something down here, which is interesting. I don't know if that was part of Billy's strategy here, but it might work out. Yeah, this is why I said this was an interesting lumber camp, because these villagers are going to take wood on this side. There's not enough space in between. And these villagers are ranged by this tower. So, and now these villagers are just going to go build another tower. So this lumber camp is kind of just 100 wood taking up space. But we have bloodlines coming in for Billy. And Old Peanuts is not making any real army. Yeah, I'm curious what the follow-up here. Follow-up is going to be. Because these towers, honestly, are not doing like they're not really accomplishing a whole lot except for sort of suffocating their opponent. But they're not actually getting any vill kills. They're not going to take out a town center. They're not even ranging this tower. They're not ranging any of these villagers. Like, these towers haven't actually accomplished a whole lot besides just kind of suffocating your opponent. And Billy is making 2 stables way down here. Now that is not something I expected. I guess that villager is actually pretty clutch right there, because if this villager gets found, these stables really cannot go up. You have to be building stables, or your stable units out of here, which your opponent would see, obviously. But a lot of sheep going back towards Old Peanuts. What's the res collect? Res collect is pretty close, actually. It's only a couple hundred difference. And that's honestly mostly because of these towers. These towers just take so much villager time to build the towers. And Bodkin coming in, Bodkin coming in for Old Peanuts, which makes sense because you have this many towers. You want to, get as much range and as much damage as you can. Now they're ranging here, and a TC being built by one villager. Very nice. Castles coming out, or not castles, knights coming out here. Now, to be honest, I mean, knights are fine. Maybe the conquistadors would be too obvious. The knights can can raid, and they can also deal with these towers, too. Like, you could just send these knights in to kill these towers. We have knights from Old Peenuts as well. And BillieDown is going to find some damage here. Very, very good. Eco KD is 5-5 right now. Or 5-4, technically. And knights are walking right past these villagers. That's not something. That's why you patrol. That's why you patrol. You don't do it with on Xbox it's X or it's A. You want to do it with X. On PlayStation it would be square. Because then if they see something along the way, they come and kill them. But I think Billy had a plan to go around to the backside here. So I mean, it's not bad, but you know, you missed about 8 villagers you could have killed. And now purple has a castle. This is a problem for Billy. Billy does have a town center here. Does have the 2 stables. Has temporarily stopped production. 6 knights on the field. Yeah, that's why I think a castle would have been better. Just delete these farms, build the castle right here with your villagers. Get rid of all these towers, and then kind of reassess what you need to do. I would have liked it. I think that would have been the better play. If someone tower rushes you, you probably have the better eco. Otherwise, you're vulnerable to getting tower dropped, like what just happened here. Milo, down, buddy. And this little base down here is nice. We have a second town center from Old Peenut as well. And blue is running right through there. There you go. There it is. And now these towers are like really annoying. Especially once Bodkin comes up, right? Because Bodkin ranges a lot of things here. These towers are targeted on this watchtower because this one should be targeting these vills here. There's also sometimes glitches on towers. I've noticed and a few people have pointed out. But blue getting really good damage. Really, really good damage. 12 villager kills for blue from these knights. And town center's down. And there's really nothing protecting these villagers right here. Two more villagers going down. I think blue is kind of focused on this knight raid, and their economy is suffering big time. Yeah, 45 vills to 39 vills. And the night numbers are definitely there for Billy. 13 knights versus 5 over here. But they're actually trying to avoid fights. They have upgrades. They have +1/+1. Yeah, so the knights are exactly the same from both sides here. They both have bloodlines. They both have +1/+1. But this whole economy is just bad right here. Down to 1 TC as well for Billy, so it's not looking good for Billy here. Billy needs to do more damage with these knights if they want to have a comeback. And we have Pikemen coming in for Old Peenut. So once Pikemen's in, you can't really raid with these knights anymore. Once you get a handful of pikes. Billy didn't want to take this fight. I feel like they needed to take this fight though. Like you have the knight numbers. If they had the +2 armor, maybe they would have. You know, +2 armor would make a huge difference, especially when you're going knights versus knights. Yeah, I'm really surprised we didn't see that coming in. I think that needed to come in. Now the knights come in, but the pikes are there, so knights are still going to win that fight. But these knights could have taken this exact same fight like 3 minutes ago when there was no pikes out there. And it was just knights and villagers. It's tough to be aware of that, for sure. And now we have more towers have gone up over here. Oh, this is brutal right now. Billie has this little base over here, but is losing the villager. And they're going for iron casting. So you get iron casting, gives you more attack. I think the armor would have been better at least earlier. More attack does better to take out the pikes. But what it really needs is a castle and conquistadors. Castles and conquistadors, I mean, just would wreck everything. And iron casting is in, so they have the extra attack, but they don't want to attack. You still don't want to attack. But blue's coming in. I mean, blue's coming in here. Blue's doing some raids on these vills. Right into the castle fire, right into the tower fire. Again, where the extra armor would have been better. And Billie's going pikemen. The real problem is Billie's just not on stone, and now purple's knights are in here too. And blue's raiding over here. They're raiding each other, basically. Blue's raiding purple's vills. Purple's raiding blue's vills. And they're both down to 21 and 23 villagers right now. Oh, man. So this is where, like, game sense comes in. It's like you have to realize how much damage you did and how much damage you took. Wow, they were both around 40 vills, and they both are down to 20, low 20s right now. Like, this is a situation where, like, lower-level players would think that they're done, even though they did good damage and everything. We have some good walls from Old Peenuts here. Peanuts has kind of secured their economy pretty well. Like, there's just not a lot of ways to push into their economy. But now it's kind of the opposite, because now their economy is sort of stuck here. Even though they have all these towers, but, yeah, they've killed all the villagers here, so these towers are not really needed here anymore. And I don't think Old Peenuts has found this base, but it is once again it's 1 TC versus 2. And Blue's trying to get his knights out of here, but these are stone walls, so this is not going to be easy. If Old Peenuts is paying attention, they could just send some pikes back here and kill all those knights. But their pikes have moved forward. They're moving down to the bottom base here. And yeah, Billie, I mean, he's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot. But they are in a tough spot. But they just need to make a different unit. You know, they just the knights by themselves at this stage of the game. You need something to kill these pikes. So conquistadors would be awesome, but they just went to stone right here. They had stone this whole time, but they basically opted to build these knights instead. So they're on a lot of gold. And the knights did good work for them, so you can't be mad about that. 30 vills for Billie. 30 vills on 1 town center versus 2, which is kind of wild. Idle TC for Old Peenuts is really high. 15 minutes of idle TC. And these knights are just running through. They're trying to just get vision, I think. But there's nothing Billie can do to fight back these pikes right here. 20 pikes. The pikes are missing some armor upgrades and attack upgrades, but The armor upgrade would be really, really good for these pikes to have. And these knights, I mean, they see the pikes here. Yeah, just run away and try to raid. Is the move. And just avoiding. Yeah, at this stage of the game, it might, I mean, they got set back, both of them so far. But like, a monk to heal up these knights would be huge. Something, anything to kill these pikes. Skirmishers, crossbow, scorpions. I don't know if Spanish gets scorpions, but like, you know, even siege, a mangonel, like anything to kill those crossbows is necessary. Conquistadors would be the answer, but you have to get another, you know, on 1 TC, and you really need to get your Vil count up. You're thinking about. You're not thinking about the other stuff. It's just hard to do it all. But great, I mean, fantastic walling from Old Peenuts. Like, Old Peenuts here is basically making a maze of walls. Like, it's impossible to push here. There's just no way you can push. You have to push through a castle and like 8 towers. How many towers are here? 8 towers. Yeah, look at me. 9 if you count this one. And so Billy's doing the right thing, trying to find damage, but there's just no way to get any damage here. And this is a get out of my game castle, which is, I mean, it's perfect because, you got to bring the pikes back. But if the pikes are here and all he has is knights, there's just no way to stop it. Like, Billy just really needs a different unit. Just really needs something besides knights. And here's the Vils moving forward. Pikes are here to protect. Knights are here to protect. And there's no more blue villagers here. All blue's entire economy is right here. Still actually is up on villagers, but I bet you they just do not feel like they are in a winning position at all. And to be fair, they're not. But if they could have somehow got a castle up, like if they could get a castle up, like as soon as they see this one, they build their own castle right here. Or delete some farms, build their own castle. That's the only way to stop this. Oh, and that's the GG. I mean, it's probably right. I don't think they have. Do they have a market still? They have a market. Like, they could have. They could have kept fighting. They could have kept fighting, to be honest. It would have not been easy. They really, like, great game from both of them. Really good game from Old Peenuts. Like, I don't want to harp on like things that BillieDown did wrong. I mean, there's a couple obvious, like just built the wrong units, basically. But like, what commitment to these towers, though, from Old Peenuts, and then building the castle there when the towers were already protecting you. Like, really, really good commitment. That's not always easy to do. Like, I do a lot of tower rushes, and it's really, really hard to do a tower rush and still have a decent economy going and still have a follow-up for it. This was a perfect situation when you're so close to the opponent that whatever they do to counter you, you can always just run back to your TC. Like, you always feel kind of safe, right? So, great game from both of them. Let me just go over some stats here real quick, see if there's anything noteworthy here. Pretty close game. If you look at the KD, 68, 61. It's just those pikes. There was no answer from Billy for those pikes. Yeah, I mean, pretty close overall. The stone was the big difference here. You know, Billy just wasn't on stone until the very end. And what was the villager high? 53 at some point. They both went down to about 20, though. Like, the villagers just went way down, right around here, I think. Yeah, they went from 51 villagers to 22 villagers. That's pretty nuts. And from 39 villagers down to 20... I know they were down to 22. 23 right here. 21. Yeah, so that's just a crazy game. But GG's. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Hey, if you watched it this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do some cool stuff. See ya.